Hi, my name is Skov Jensen. In this lesson, I will talk about plagiarism and how to avoid it by citing the information and literature you use in your paper correctly. Rapid technological development, especially digitization, means that we have become used to finding and accessing information quickly and easily. At the same time, the risk of plagiarism has increased accordingly, because it has become easier than ever before to copy and paste from the internet. However, it is important that you make a distinction in your paper between the information that you create and the information that derive from your sources. But what is plagiarism? Basically, plagiarism is cheating. It is the conscious or unconscious use of other people's intellectual work without giving them proper credit. On the website Stop Plagiarism, you can see some examples of plagiarism. As you can see here, there are different degrees of plagiarism. Some students copy and paste entire sections of other people's texts into their own papers and pretend to have written them themselves, while others neglect or simply forget to cite their sources correctly. It does not matter if the plagiarism is unintended, it is still plagiarism. You can avoid plagiarism if you consistently cite all the sources you use in your paper. However, there are exceptions to this rule. Typically, you don't need to cite a source when you refer to something that is common knowledge. For instance, if you write about Italy and you mention that the capital of Italy is Rome, you won't need to cite a source that tells the reader from where you have the information. Also, you don't have to point out that this information is not your own idea. Another example of when you are not expected to cite your sources is when you refer to something that is common knowledge within your own field of research. If you are working on a physics paper, for instance, you won't need to cite Isaac Newton when you refer to the law of gravity, because this is common knowledge within the given context. However, you will have to insert a citation if you refer to the establishment of the Kingdom of Italy in 1861, or if you refer to this book by Newton. In the first example, you are no longer referring to common knowledge, while in the second example, you refer to a specific work. Therefore, you must cite your sources in these two instances. As I mentioned earlier on, digitization makes it really easy to copy other people's work, and maybe for this reason, plagiarism seems to be on the rise. Many universities respond to this using detection tools to screen papers and assignments for plagiarism. If you are caught plagiarizing, you may face administrative or academic sanctions, the severity of which will depend on the nature and the extent of the offense. In mild cases, the universities may issue a warning or neglect to give you credit for your paper, while in other cases you will be suspended or even expelled from the university. In extreme cases, a scholar may be stripped of his or her academic title. So do yourself a favor and avoid plagiarism. Pay close attention to the literature you use and keep in mind where your knowledge derives from. Cite correctly and consistently. Using a reference management tool like Mendeley will help you administer and assess your sources, which in turn will help you avoid plagiarism. I also recommend that you follow the advice from the website Stop Plagiarism. Thank you for listening.